if you'll start us off.
Thank you. Chairman Graham, Ranking Member Whitehouse, and other committee members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today on this pressing matter from the perspective of a recent victim of ransomware. February 8, 2016 started as just another Monday in Horry County Schools. The sun was shining. Our 43,000 students and 3,800 faculty and staff were returning for another week of world-class learning and teaching in coastal South Carolina. Little did we know that one of the most disruptive events in recent history was already well underway throughout our district. This event was a malware ransom attack, and it was a big one. We had experienced a few small, isolated infections that were limited to single users or schools in the past, and in those cases, the recovery and restoration was easy and relatively quick, but not this time. This one was different. After the third school called with reports of encrypted files, the decision was made to shut down all district servers, well over 600, down in an attempt to stop the spread and encryption from continuing. It was big and it was virtually everywhere. Previous infections were the result of individual users clicking a link or opening an attachment, typically received via email that contained malicious code that encrypted any data files found. General user file access is normally limited to team members' home campus, so impact was contained. This event was district-wide. At this point, it was not known exactly how many systems had been impacted by the attack, but the conditions of the extortion were clearly stated in the ransom note left on every computer infected. All data files claimed to be encrypted with RSA 2048-bit encryption with a different key used for each computer. The price for the keys, payable in the digital currency Bitcoin, was 1.5 Bitcoin, or around $850 at the time, for one computer, or 22 Bitcoin, which was around $8,500 for all computers. The note also contained a link for the WordPress site to be used to communicate with the attackers and contained the deadline for payment, 1 week. Once everything was down, careful investigation of systems began. Since the full extent of the infection was not known, each server had to be isolated before powering up for inspection, which is tedious and time-consuming work. While servers were not fully functional, all of the devices issued to our teachers and students, which includes iPads for all students in grades 5 through 8, Dell Windows tablets for all students grades 9 through 12, and an assortment of tablets, desktops, and laptops for all students in other grades, were completely isolated with no ability to communicate with each other or the outside world. Access to email, social and instructional media, online digital content and instruction, collaboration, assessment tools, and network and cloud-based storage was lost. A report to the Computer Crimes Division of the FBI was submitted, and the incident was communicated immediately to the local FBI office, SC SLED, SC Department of Education Computer Information Security Office, and the SC State Computer Information Security Office. All asked for continuing reports on progress, any contact with the culprits, and copies of all artifacts from the events which were provided. The recommendation to pay the ransom was immediately made by technology to administration and the Board of Education, even before all of the details of the scope of the attack were known. If the encryption was widespread, the rebuilding and restoration of all servers and all end-user data would take weeks, even if the backups were perfect, as it had already been discovered that the attack not only encrypted data files, it also deleted the local operating system backup files, which can make restoration quick and relatively painless. The daily business value of 43,000 students and 3,800 faculty and staff who were unable to access portfolios, class projects, term papers, lesson plans, and so forth, quickly and easily surpassed the $8,500 ransom value. Forensic analysis of systems impacted indicated the entry point for this attack was through an older application server that was kept in service for access to historical data. Since this application was no longer a production server, updates to the underlying components were not possible, and one of these components contained the vulnerability used to compromise the system from across the internet and spread throughout the network. Technology personnel worked around the clock inspecting, rebuilding, and restoring servers in a business priority fashion to return devices and data to all users as soon as possible, with the most core functions restored within the first couple of weeks. The ransom was finally paid, and it was discovered even when funds are available, the conversion of dollars to Bitcoin is not necessarily a simple task and can take quite some time. If not for the assistance of Troy Wilkerson of Axiom Cyber Solutions in Las Vegas, Nevada, who once worked in law enforcement in our community and offered to facilitate the exchange for us at no cost, the payment deadline would have never been met. Needless to say, the event and recovery were a learning experience for all involved. As you would expect, all servers and infrastructure have been reviewed, secured, and processes improved to reduce the likelihood of a repeat occurrence. Horry County Schools is also involved with the FBI's InfraGard, the state of South Carolina's SC Cyber Initiative, and ongoing security training. Thank you for the opportunity to share our experiences and your efforts to provide additional protections for such future events.